Shocking statement. A billion-dollar carrier strike group paused because 3 patrol ships pressed a wedge within 5 nautical miles. On the scope in Gravely's CIC, CG-23's bearing change lined up with the Ford's projected track. An intentional crossing attempt, while a Seahawk at 600 feet watched wakes carve straight at America's newest carrier. Venezuela broadcasts sovereignty over waters the U.S. calls international. Then, with seconds to spare, the lead vessel throttled back. What made them blink? Radar locks, escort posture, or the weight of international law? And what does that reveal about gray zone power in the Caribbean today? Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Why would a carrier group worth billions pause because 3 smaller patrol ships altered one bearing line on a radar scope? Because inside Gravely's Combat Information Center, a single degree matters. The room runs dark, so eyes don't lie. Green scopes sweep, symbols update. Spanish and English comms overlap as 3 contacts. CG-23, CG-24, CG-25. Stamp onto the plot. The air is steady with equipment hum and clipped voices. A surface tracker calls out fresh bearings. Another hand updates the board. The helmsman on the bridge gets the translations clean and simple. Nothing is loud, but everything is urgent. Now the ticks begin. 1 degree left, then 2. Range drops from 8 nautical miles under 6 in minutes. The 3 ships pull tighter, not broadside, but nose on, forming a shallow wedge aimed across the Ford's projected path. Gravely stays offset, holding the screen line. You can see the geometry if you've stared at enough scope returns. Those symbols aren't drifting. They're driving. Sensors fill in what the naked eye can't. Surface search radar marks wakes with crisp vectors. The infrared feed shows heat plumes and cooler turbulence behind each hull. The Ford Seahawk holds at about 600 feet, relaying infrared trails straight into the CIC. The crew overlays time to intersect estimates and tags each contact with course and speed. The watch team marks potential crossing on the board without drama. The entry speaks for itself. Here's what they track in real time. Course and speed first, because intent hides there. CPA, the closest point of approach, and TCPA, when that CPA happens. EMCON posture, so emissions don't tell the wrong story. Bridge-to-bridge warnings, spoken clear in both languages, about safe separation and steady courses. The idea is simple. Stay readable, stay legal, don't give a pretext. The execution takes discipline when the ranges keep shrinking. A duty officer does the math out loud. If the lead ship holds speed and heading, the CPA tightens to 0.3 nautical miles. That number lands hard in the room. Sub-half-mile CPA means the carrier's flight ops don't risk a blown approach or a jet trapped in crossway catapults go cold. Deck crews stand by, not panic, procedure. The mission is still presence and documentation. Nobody feeds a miscalculation. On the open channel, Venezuela broadcasts sovereignty over a Bolivarian security zone. The U.S. does not recognize it. That legal split threads through every helm order and every radio call. The destroyer doesn't argue policy. It holds a predictable track and logs everything. The Seahawk keeps the lens steady. Timestamps roll. Every alteration becomes a record that will survive the day. The wedge angles further, edging toward a bow cross on the carrier. Gravely, and the Ford keep intercept posture, visible and consistent. No sudden speed jumps, no sharp turns, just geometry that says, we're here, we see you, and we're staying safe. It looks passive from a distance. Inside the CIC, it's active management of inches and minutes. So how close is close? Inside 5 nautical miles now, with the lead contact's projected CPA under half a mile. At that range, one wrong rudder order or an engine lag can turn law and caution into steel on steel. No one needs raised voices to feel the weight of that. The scopes carry it. The numbers do the talking. Range keeps closing. Voices on the net tighten. A fresh bearing tick slides left again. The plotter keeps the pen moving. The question that takes over the room isn't complicated. Who commits first to a collision course? What made the lead Venezuelan ship ease off the collision line when seconds mattered? Threat, risk math, or the story they needed back home? The answer starts with the move that raised the stakes. The lead hull took the hard-bearing change across the Ford's projected path while broadcasting sovereignty claims. In Gravely's log, that moment earns a clean timestamp, annotated with CPA projections and language notes for the morning brief. The tape tells the story later. The geometry tells it now. On deck, the air wing stands down to keep risk contained. No launches, no recoveries, no confusion in the groove while a surface contact closes. Escorts hold steady courses at defined speeds, not gaming the turn circle, not baiting a swerve. Bridge-to-bridge calls repeat in both languages. Maintain safe separation. Keep your line. Do not impede. The other side mirrors the ritual in their own voice. Control isn't conceded. It is performed through clarity, not noise. Deterrence here is a layered cocktail, not a single threat. The escort geometry draws clean guardrails. Destroyer between the carrier and the wedge. Helicopter offset with eyes on. Radar tracks stacked with speed and bearing histories that show intent without touching a weapon switch. Every alteration is time-stamped, screen captured, and voiced on the net. That record matters as much as distance. It signals that whatever happens won't live as rumor. It will play back at half speed in Washington, Caracas, and every maritime insurer's office. Gray zone tactics aim for the headline, not a firefight. A bow cross forces attention. It reads at home as strength and abroad as defiance. But the trick only works if the CPA stays just outside the threshold that triggers a forceful response. Slide inside that safety window and the risk flips. Now you're not crafting a narrative. You're paying cash in steel, injuries, and legal fallout. The lead ship hits the decision point. Hold speed and pass tight enough to scrape wake off the carrier's bow, or ease back and still claim the moment on camera. The math isn't abstract. A collision raises the cost for everyone. Repairs, downtime, and the kind of investigation that strips excuses down to data. The US presence multiplies that risk. The destroyer's posture leaves no ambiguity about who documents the contact and who looks like the instigator that matters when the clips go public. Each side shapes its story. Venezuelan outlets push a defense of national waters and a show of resolve. US releases frame routine, lawful navigation in international seas. Both chase legitimacy. Neither wants footage of scraped paint and stretcher teams. Meanwhile, the region watches. A collision filmed at close range shoves insurance premiums upward, nudges shipping calendars, and forces route planners to hedge time. In the Southern Caribbean, a photo op turns into a spreadsheet problem for ports and carriers. So the choice lands where deterrence intends. The lead ship throttles back, nudges off the line, and the wedge loses its shape. No victory laps on the net. No gloating plays well when both sides need the clip to support their claim. Presence did the work. Posture did the rest. The law stood ready to name the party that crossed the threshold. The price of contact outweighed the value of the stunt, and the moment passed as a documented warning instead of a casualty report. Wakes flatten. Engines drop to a steady hum. The sea looks calm again. But the cameras don't stop. In this kind of encounter, restraint isn't silence. It's a signal that travels farther than any loud move when every second is recorded. Peace isn't the same as calm. What looked like quiet water was the product of steady courses, logged calls, and a captain who kept the line. Deterrence worked because disciplined restraint turned a near collision into a documented warning, not a headline with damage reports. Now you tell me, where should that line sit? At what CPA should a carrier group force a maneuver? And how should Navy's message gray zone moves without feeding escalation? Drop your thresholds, your wording, your playbook in the comments. If you want more minute-by-minute breakdowns from the deck to the CIC, subscribe and name the next incident you want dissected.